Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Crypto Bobby. Hope you are having a great day or a great night wherever you are watching in from. He's always late. It's 9 o'clock. If I'm 15 seconds late, you can hold your damn horses. What is up, everybody? Appreciate the time. Hope you are having a great day. So looking forward to taking the time to speak with you guys a little bit about what is happening in these crazy crypto markets. What is up, Daniel? What's up, Brad? Patrick, what is going on, dude? John, Crypto Scott, what's up, man? Matt, he said the catchphrase, boys. Oh, yep, I did. What is up, James? Yeah, so, one of the first things that we can hop into today, and, as you guys know, I will try to get to as many of these questions, comments, thoughts. I will try to get to as many of them as possible. If you have anything that absolutely must be answered, throw it in the super chat, and I will guaranteed get to it at that point in time. But yeah, one of the things to kick off as real quick as I pour tonight's drink of choice. What's up, Alan? Tonight's drink of choice, we're going with High West Yippee-Ki-Yay whiskey. I ran out of Macallan, so we're going with the High West tonight. Maybe we'll do a new bottle. Probably going to need a new bottle of something sooner rather than later here. But if you guys are drinking anything nice, if it's water, it doesn't have to be alcoholic. I am not discriminatory and whatever. So, speaking of the Mike Billy. Awesome. Well, let's kick things off with the big news of, or at least the big news of the past hour, because it's cryptocurrency and things happen every 5 minutes. But South Korea, which is one of the largest markets for crypto globally, South Korea's police and tax agencies have actually raided the second largest Bitcoin exchange in the world, as well as by volume, and the 10th largest. So they raided, the National Tax Service raided, and the local police raided Coin1 and Bithumb, or Bithumb, not exactly sure. I've heard the pronunciation in every single way possible. But the South Korea has essentially raided both Coin1 and Bithumb. Bithumb is the second largest exchange by volume out there in the world. If you go over to CoinMarketCap, we can take a quick look at that bad boy just to clarify here. So if we look at trade volume, 24-hour exchange, Binance is the largest. I believe Binance is actually traded in Somebody's saying def need more volume. All right, we'll turn this bad boy up. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. Apologies if the mic level was low. I pressed the wrong button before. Sorry about that, guys. Should be good to go now. It's going to be annoying on the replay. Sorry about that, folks. But Binance is the largest, at least by volume right now. Bithumb being the second largest. Their offices were just raided by the police and by the South Korean, by South Korea's tax services. And then if you scroll down here too as well, you got Coin1 in number 10. So it's $941 million in daily volume on Coin1. And then with Bithumb, $4.7 billion. Appreciate that super chat, John. Thanks a lot, dude. Oh, there we go. Wrong button. Michael Suarez, FUD. FUD alert. I guess this could be this is kind of the definition of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, but it is something that you certainly want to keep in mind. I don't think it's unjust FUD by any stretch. This is news on Reuters, so it should be something that you want to take into consideration. Will this affect the overall marketplace? I have no clue. Bitcoin, which is what in my mind would be, we'll just look at GDAX. Bitcoin, which in my mind is what might have been most affected by this, has not really had too much of a move since then. It's kind of been stable. So that is something that, who knows? So taking a look at some of these questions here. Let's pop in. Somebody said, Rohan, are you going to take part in the Telegram ICO? So to my understanding, the Telegram ICO is pretty much solely going to be pre-sale type investing. And I would assume for the most part, pretty limited to institutional investors as well. So at that point in time, I'm probably not going to be participating heavily. I doubt most people are going to have an opportunity. I would say this. I would and will participate in the Telegram ICO where I can. However, I think it's probably going to be very difficult to participate in the Telegram ICO because I do think it is going to be pretty limited to either hedge funds, VC firms, whoever it is. There are going to be high up people out there that are going to get fantastic deals in the Telegram ICO, and you potentially are going to get the last bit of scraps there. So that's kind of my thought process in general. Naima, thank you for the tutorial on Ether Delta. You're welcome. Hopefully that was helpful for you in general. And a couple people saying not fake news. Friend in South Korea says it's real. Yeah, obviously it's real. This is literally, it's number one, it's Reuters, which isn't, Reuters isn't exactly the capital of fake news by any stretch. But somebody said, he said Coin1 was an official who spoke on anonymity, but said Coin1 was cooperating with the They specifically named Coin1 and Bithumb, both. So I don't think it's fake news. It's just a matter of does this actually affect the overall marketplace in general? And is this something that is going to be negative or what? Crocotubs, what's up, homie? Did I hurt your feelings or something? You were desperately looking for a co-host. No, I just think some more opinion outside of my own would be helpful. I think that it was fun having Donnie on. It was good the time I had Jesse on. Probably going to have somebody on Monday as well. So I just think that there's an opportunity to get more thought process out there than just my own. And I would like to do that. So that's kind of my thought process there. But I do, as always, appreciate the feedback, my man. Somebody mentioned here, you seen what is up, dude. There's been a lot of talk about a cryptocurrency bubble. What are your thoughts? Do you feel like the market is currently overvalued? I do think a lot of cryptocurrency right now is overvalued. I do think there are a lot of coins out there that should not be valued as highly as they are. In some cases, I might even own some of those, some of those cryptocurrency. But, you're looking at it right now. What do we have here? Can I find it? Where's Dentacoin? Yeah. So we got something like Dentacoin. Granted, it's down 23% in the past 24 hours. But you got Dentacoin was worth over $2 billion previously. It's worth $1.3 billion recently. You got, as much as I love Dogecoin, where's Dogecoin? Dogecoin was worth well over $1 billion fairly recently. $1.4 billion, close to $1.5 billion for Dogecoin. Dogecoin is not worth $1.5 billion. I love Doge. Love Doge, but it's not worth $1.5 billion. Dentacoin, it could fix every cavity in the world. It's still probably not worth $1.3 billion. Y'all know my thoughts on this bad boy right now at 26. But there's a lot of crypto. I really think that, with the level of the market, there's going to be long-term, there's going to be a number of winners that just absolutely crush it. And then there's going to be probably a smaller concentration of winners that absolutely crush it. And then from there are going to be probably a lot of drawbacks in some of these larger, $500 to $1 billion crypto assets that aren't really worth it as much, that don't really have the tech behind them. They're just a white paper, something like that. So looking at some more of these bad boys. Somebody said we need a fully decentralized exchange. The decentralized exchange, they've been hot. I mean, that was the video yesterday as AirSwap crushed it recently. 0x, obviously. Kyber Network has done really well. Even like BitShares, while it's not kind of while BitShares isn't necessarily a decentralized exchange on like the Ethereum blockchain, it's kind of its own thing. That has done, that's made a big comeback since BitShares got removed from Bittrex. I thought that might have been the end of BitShares at that point in time. And then to that point too, both Qcoin and, they're not decentralized really by any stretch, but both Qcoin and Binance Coin, those are worth over $1.7 billion in both stretches. So that's been pretty impressive to see. Exchange coins that highly worth it as well. So looking at a couple of these, any cryptos you're looking to get into soon. Right now, I'm trying to go through as much research as possible. Yesterday, I went through the Polyswarm ICO. I thought it was interesting. I don't know if it's something that I would have a ton of interest in participating in. I think it was recommended to me by a few people. Looking at, let's see here. So I think I turned down the desktop audio, so hopefully that doesn't kick you guys in the face like you'd mentioned. But I looked at the Polyswarm ICO. That was one thing that was one of the cryptos that I was looking at long term, or that was suggested to me. It was my white paper that I did yesterday, today, or tonight after this chat, after I have some whiskey and relax. Going to look at a little bit of, going to look at the Enigma white paper and do a little bit of research on that. So I'm trying to do a crypto a day to keep the doctor away, something like that. But yeah, I mean, at this point in time, Polyswarm is interesting, but I don't know if it would get real legit enterprise adoption. Kind of depends upon the level of security experts that are actually onto the platform. Your portfolio on your site is hot. How about Ripple? I am not with where Ripple is right now, I'm not a massive fan of where Ripple is right now. It's kind of got to show me that it's stopping. It's kind of got to me, Ripple needs to show me that it's not going to continue to fall. And personally, I've really never put much money into Ripple, if at all, just because it's kind of the antithesis of what a crypto kind of is supposed to be. But with XRP, I just don't see a lot that. I think it was pumped to really the high heavens, and then from there it is maybe could have continued to go up, yeah, for sure. But I'm not touching it. I don't know if it's on a free fall, but yeah, a lot of people have absolutely crushed Ripple shorting it. Whether it's BitMEX or Bitfinex or whatever you're using, a lot of people have crushed it. Somebody said 100 major banks are in XRP. Why would you not? Why would you not like it? So. There are a number of reasons. Number one, I mean, just for me personally, seeing value at $74 billion in market cap for Ripple, I mean, that's highly, highly valued, massively valued. So, in the supply, yes, I know they're, at some point in time going to be like basically burning Ripple, but it's still a $100 billion supply with 2/3 of that being held by the company. So, it's more centralized than the average cryptocurrency is, but if you like it, great. If if you made money in it, great. I'm not gonna hate on you or hate on it. So I'm not too worried about that long term. A lot of people love that. Somebody's saying XRP transcends the crypto market cap. I don't know, because XRP is probably the most traditional business out of all the cryptocurrencies. So if you're looking at a lot of the talk today was Warren Buffett value or saying crypto was not valuable or whatever, because you can't throw a PE ratio to it, or because you can't utilize traditional financial metrics. Probably the closest thing to actually being able to utilize traditional financial metrics to something like a cryptocurrency is XRP, because it is there is a legitimate company behind it with a balance sheet and all that stuff. So yeah, I am right now with I mean, just to give you, I guess, thought, I wasn't interested in Ripple when it was at 25 cents. I thought Ripple was probably overvalued at 25 cents. Now it's at $1.90. I missed the run, but just because it's gone up 8x does not make me interested now. So that's just my overall thoughts on it. Looking at some more of these, chats. Obviously, appreciate that, calls. Please add chain trade to your research. We'll certainly do. I will see if I can put that on for later in the week. Any opinion on IoT chain ITC? So I'll see if I can pull that up. If I can find my mouse. So looking at IoT chain, this is one that I have not, quite frankly, checked out yet. If anybody can let me know off the top how, I know IOTA is obviously something that has IoT in the title, and this is IoT or ITC, but how this might differ from something like IOTA off the top. I haven't gone through any type of diligence on this. I don't know if this is similar to IOTA in the sense where it's trying to be a cryptocurrency specifically for IoT devices and a transactional nature between those or not. But yeah, I'll have to take a look at this, especially since it's sub 200 million or around 200 mil in market cap. Somebody said, "What are the top 5 cryptos in my mind?" I mean, I don't necessarily have a top 5 per se. I mean, you could check out my portfolio at any time. Those are obviously all cryptos that I'm fairly bullish on. Obviously, other than that, I wouldn't be holding them. Cardano is pulled back quite a bit, and to be pretty frank, I got into Cardano pretty early. I wish I sold. I sold my initial investment plus a little bit of profit at the top, or not at the top, but above $1. I think that, in my mind at least, if Cardano breaks below where is it? It looks to me, and I could be completely just stupid, but it looks to me like there is a certain level of support at 5,000 Satoshis for Cardano. And if it breaks below that, I think it might have a certain level of free fall in range. So if Cardano dips heavily, I'll probably look to load a little bit more up, but I probably should have taken more profit on Cardano at the top of what it was, because it was at $1.25, $1.30, and now it's basically cut in half from where that was now. What's up, Kyle? What's going on, my man? But yeah, as far as top 5 cryptos, I'm a fan of all these. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't own them in my portfolio, but probably the most interesting ones to me, I think Bitcoin isn't important. And again, not financial advice, but I think Bitcoin isn't, whether or not you think Bitcoin is a total crap coin, whether or not you think it works, whatever, it has the most established community around it. It is the granddaddy of them all. And I think that Bitcoin is an important component of a portfolio. I think Bitcoin, probably Ethereum is important. I think an alternative to Ethereum, so whether it's EOS, whether it's Neo, whether it's Cardano, something that is potentially an EOS competitor, an Ethereum competitor is interesting. And then I also think that a decentralized exchange token as well as a privacy coin. I think if those 5 things, if I was building a portfolio from scratch, I would say, Bitcoin, Ethereum, an Ethereum competitor, a decentralized cryptocurrency, and a privacy coin are kind of the 5 types of cryptocurrencies that I think, at least for me, are pretty fascinating. And if you want to continue outside of that, you could look at IoT or instant transactions as number 6, or some type of platform as number 7, whatever. Can you take a look at Hush? There is a fork coming soon. So yeah, we'll pull up Hush. $30 million market cap. It was, to be honest, I haven't seen these guys before. They're pretty small in comparison to the rest of the market. They've been around for a while though, but cryptocurrency messenger on ZK Snarks, essentially. It's fairly interesting. I don't know too much about the actual fork that's coming as well, or how that fork might affect things at all. So, but I can certainly take a look at this and see if it's worth too much, worth too much interest. Not sure where it might be traded. Cryptopia. Okay. So yeah, it's it's in the old Cryptopia graveyard there. What is up, Mark? Hope you're having a good day, man. Somebody said, Randy said Gems is looking like a decent ICO to grab. Yeah, Gems does look legit. The one thing I would say is I don't know if the white coin the white coin, if it's only going to sell out to people on the whitelist or not, but the whitelist is now closed with the Gems ICO. I'm still trying to see if I could set up a conversation with their founder, but yeah. Any thoughts on Datum? Actually been kind of fairly slow and steady in comparison to some of these other ones. Let's pull up Datum. Recent ICO, I'm assuming. Yeah, Datum tokens. One of my biggest pet peeves now is when a company asks to send me updates on their website. I've never once said, yes, please send me updates from your website. Ever, ever, ever. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Hold on. If you... Sadine, if you post mod one more time, I'm personally going to jump out the window. So please stop. What do we got here? Sweet. Okay, cool. Datum. So just taking a look at these guys. Again, fairly newer to the marketplace. So I guess I'm assuming most of the volume's coming in Ether, actually OKX, and a tiny volume on Ether Delta. So I haven't traded on OKX yet at all. So I haven't even really come across these guys too much in detail, but maybe potentially worth the time since they're not traded on too many exchanges yet. But so essentially a different type of NoSQL database backed by a blockchain. Yes, it's fairly interesting depending upon your interest in databases in general, whether you think NoSQL is legit, whether you think having it backed by a blockchain ledger is legit at all either. But I would need to do a little bit more diligence on these guys in general. Somebody mentioned, let's see here. You have $500 today to invest. What coin are you pumping it into? Not financial advice, as always, but AirSwap to me is a fairly interesting one. It's pumped pretty heavy already. But when you look at the valuation of the other decentralized exchanges and the team that's behind AirSwap, I think that they're every bit as good as those, potentially those teams. They're I believe going to be launching the actual AirSwap. The AirSwap beta is out already, but they're going to be headed more and more towards launching towards the mainnet. So I think AirSwap is one that is pretty interesting to me. I do have a holding in AirSwap, but I also have a holding in 0x. But when you compare 0x to Kyber, I think that AirSwap might be an interesting place. It's not too small where you might get your face ripped off, but at the same point in time, there still could be some nice gains left to be had. So thoughts there. Somebody said Buffett owns billions in Bank of America. Yeah, absolutely. Buffett owns billions in everything. And okay, what's up, dude? Thank you. Love the happy hours and content. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Somebody said RDD at 13 Satoshis. Redcoin at 13 Satoshis. What's it at now? 150. So nice trade on your end. I I mean, to be pretty honest with you, if you got that at 13 Satoshis, you got that like way before the first pump. I might take a good amount of profits there. I mean, that's a great 10x plus, like a 12x. So, you know, I don't know exactly how confident you are in Redcoin moving forward, but I would at least take your initial investment out plus, you know, I think taking your initial investment out plus a little bit more would be good to go. Thoughts on Huala today? White paper has me hyped. What's up, Jake? Trying to type around my whiskey glass. What do we got? I don't know if this is first peer-to-peer crypto exchange. So I haven't gotten a chance to use these guys yet at this point in time. Let me pull them up on CoinMarketCap as well. James Altucher is recommending 0x. Oh, sweet. This one cryptocurrency is going to make you a billionaire. Find these 10 penny cryptocurrencies that will be the next Bitcoin. Jesus Christ. Huala's, I mean, to be pretty frank, a little small for me to be like super into right now, but I think somebody reached out to me, and this may or may not be the one they were talking about. But they were talking about an exchange that was super low volume with token staking and saying that this was going to be like, you know, the next big thing. Maybe this is, maybe this isn't, but I need to dive into the white paper to see if it's, you know, worth anything at all. Said ETH 0. I'm not exactly sure. Let's. I don't really know what the ETH 0 hard fork is. There are so many hard forks that are just BS. So I don't know. I don't. To be pretty frank, like if it's not a legit hard fork, I don't concern myself with it. If it's like Bitcoin Diamond or whatever, like if I get it, if Ledger gives that to me, great. But if not, I'm not too worried about it at all. Somebody said Daddy, which is an ICO, or Dadi, D-A-D-I. Apparently they plagiarized a good portion of their white paper and apparently they plagiarized a good portion of their white paper and got ripped to shreds, rightfully so, by the community. So that is something that you want to definitely take into consideration. Let's see here. So put on slow chat there. Boom. Okay. So slow chat's on. Somebody said, thanks for the, there we go. I appreciate that, Ling Ling. Old school gamer Rick. What's up, dude? As always, good to have you. Crypto Watchdog, what is up? Charted the portfolio. They're moving higher. Yes, I know. Portfolio is done fairly well, to be pretty frank. The decentralized exchanges previously have kind of saved me, and then both 0x and AirSwap token have absolutely crushed it for me, as has VeChain. VeChain was just like doing a monster job for me recently. So VeChain was pretty solid, which was great. Somebody said Tron plagiarized their white paper too. Yeah, apparently. And then the founder said that was like a translation issue or something like that. But yeah, Tron got in some trouble for that as well. But I think there might be some clarification. I didn't dive too deep into it because, to be pretty frank, I just didn't care that much. But yeah, the founder addressed it. I don't know how well he addressed it, but Justin Sun, I believe his name is. So I'll pull up. Boom. Yeah, Poets had a nice run, at least up until like December 8th, and pulled back and is nice little bit of a recovery, but recently discovered the PoE token. Sounds like a good idea. Solid team and backing. Any views on this one? I think it is interesting. I think certain crypto like this, like basic attention token, are potentially early on, but they could be very hit or miss in the near term. It sounds like they have pretty solid teams that are actually, for the most part, like basic attention token is a solid team. They are at the same time though very early on in terms of the actual adoption of the Brave browser and things like that. And I think Poet in a similar sense is probably very much like that. There's probably very few companies out there people out there that are actually adopting this for digital content licensing, but it's a very sharp and smart idea. Do I invest in any lending programs? No, I don't. So looking here, are you interested in the Mercury? Are you still interested in Mercury Protocol? I still have a little baby bag of Mercury Protocol GMT. This was, to be pretty frank, this was kind of more of a screw around fun type of thing. I believe I got into Mercury Protocol at around 15 cents or so. I think it was around 900 Satoshis was where I got in. Actually, right around there, 900 Satoshis. It's traded via an ETH pair on EtherDelta though. But I kind of went dumpster diving on EtherDelta. Wanted to find a coin that I might just throw in a couple ETH to and see if it might have a legit could potentially pump from like 25 mil market cap to like 100 mil in market cap. Somebody said, can we talk about shitcoins? Yeah, this is kind of a shitcoin, but I'm already up a little bit on it. Granted, I haven't really taken any profit on it, but this was me dumpster diving into EtherDelta to have a good time. Somebody said, hey, Bobby, can you check out InvestFeed at all? Have a nice social platform and coin to go along with it. I actually have one of my friends might be watching this. I think he was on the last one, but is like the head of marketing over at InvestFeed. So I just registered for InvestFeed. I actually don't own any of the tokens, but yeah. So let me see exactly what's going on here. Going through some of these chats. So thoughts on GTO and UKG. So I don't have too many thoughts, to be honest, on Gifto yet, but UKG is Unicoin Gold has crushed it. They have a solid team in place. They pulled back kind of nicely or pretty heavily from that plus 300 mil. I might keep an eye on this, to be pretty frank. I might keep an eye on Unicoin Gold to see if this kind of consolidates it all in this range and look to acquire some. I know there's a lot of people that they have some pretty good investors, and they have a lot of people that are fans of it that have some sway in the industry. So I think Unicoin Gold might be one that I might look to accumulate a little bit if there's a little bit of consolidation down here. If I can see that it's not going to continue to just dive or perhaps just dollar cost average my way in. So a billion people have talked to me and asked about Electronium. So we'll get to that. Electronium and Blue. So on Blue, I mean, pretty quickly, not too many thoughts on Blue. ETN, on the other hand, I'm going to be pretty frank. I don't think Electronium. I know Electronium has done a fantastic job in terms of marketing. They have a good community built up. There are a lot of people out there that think Electronium is going to be the biggest thing since sliced bread. Personally, I don't think Electronium is worth $780 million. I don't think that should be worth 15 cents. Kind of think it's just another cryptocurrency, to be pretty frank. Anybody can say mobile and easy to use and whatever, but until people are actually using it and sending money between each other, then that's one thing. Was I wrong about, or not necessarily was I wrong about Electronium, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. But their marketing is fantastic, and to be pretty frank, marketing in general right now helps crypto projects crush it in valuation. But at some point in time, you want to you kind of want to make it. There's basically two routes you can go. You can bet on the tech or you can bet on the marketing. With Electroneum, I think you're betting on marketing more than you're betting on tech. With some of these other projects like maybe Monero or Zcash or like a Decrete or something like that, like some of those projects, they're not great marketers, but they are fantastic on the tech side. So that's just my thought process there. If you hold Electroneum, great. I hope it goes up. I hope you do well. But I personally would not buy it. Or I'm personally not going to buy it. DLT, please. I'll take a quick look. I remember Agrello. So I'm not, I mean, as far as Donald Powers want to make you a sponsor on BitConnect, is that a possibility? I love your vids. I appreciate you loving my vids. I'm not on BitConnect. I don't want to be your sponsor. I don't recommend you sign up. Just keep your money in real crypto. Legally binding smart contracts powered by AI. I remember looking at this and thinking, I would want to see a product from these guys, like a legit functioning product. Is it a pretty interesting, novel idea having smart contracts that are powered by AI? Yes, but I think smart contracts are, to be pretty frank, I think they're too early on in some respects for people to power AI when the human intelligence on smart contracts isn't necessarily even there yet. You could see some of the top developers of smart contracts in the world. You can see the parity multi-sig wallet hack, or not really even a hack. It was a guy who just sent a freaking kill switch command basically to the parity wallet, to the parity multi-sig wallet that froze hundreds of millions of dollars in assets. So what do we got here? Thoughts on PKT play key? And I saw, just to go to this and even looking at this chart, so I saw somebody commented recently and said they have been in crypto for 3 months and they lost money, or they haven't made any money. It had to be, it had to be fake. It had to be like just a random person. But I literally don't think it's possible to have. I literally don't think it's possible to have lost, money in in crypto in the past 3 months. So I don't think there's any possibility that you could have lost. Like, look at these charts. They've just been, at least from like October, November, and December, they've gone straight through the roof. So Playkey, another one of those. Keep calm and choose your stock exchange. I don't know if those are stock exchanges, but cloud gaming platform. So I haven't seen too much about this. I think gaming is hot, whether it's been Engine Coin, which is one that I had some Engine Coin back in the day. I sold it, and it's performed very well since I sold it. Playkey, I don't know too much about these guys, but if they do have an actual gaming service started, I'd be interested to know how they transition that to the decentralized world and what the deal is with miner support and how mining is going to work and all that type of stuff. But yeah, this somewhat interesting. It's had a nice run since the ICO, that's for sure. So, and for people that are in the chat that are saying, hey, you haven't got on my super chat, a little bit behind on them, trying to answer as much as possible. So apologies on that. But trying to get to him as much as possible. Chang Charles, what's up, my man? What do you think about ELF? Is it a good time to buy? So I have a decent holding of ELF. It's pulled back a little bit. I like ELF. I think that on the actual pullback itself, anytime something pulls back that hard, it's a time to at least evaluate whether or not it's a decent accumulation time. I might think about dollar cost averaging into it at this point in time. I think it certainly has the potential to dip lower. I think a lot of crypto out there has the potential to dip lower, but I think you've seen it establish and at least show you that I can hit $2.50+ to 60 or so. And at this point, and when you look at that, now that it's down to $2.05, $2, you can still see a pretty decent potential gain there. So I've held on to my ELF. I haven't sold any at the quote unquote top yet. And I think that it has those characteristics of an Asian coin that just pumps. So that's kind of there's a number of reasons behind why I like ELF. Outside of that, you got Novogratz in play, who seems to have his hands on everything in crypto, which I'm super down for. But let me pull up ELF if we go down here. I mean, they have some pretty solid investors. You got Galaxy Digital, which is the Novogratz firm, Tim Draper Dragon. So you have Tim Draper in the mix. You have FBG Capital, which is a big VC firm as well. There's a couple pretty big players in the mix, and they're already on Binance. They're on Huobi. They're on CEX. So I like where they're at. Please talk about why the SEC keeps blocking U.S. residents from buying into ICOs. What happened to freedom of choice? So the SEC, Mark, has not blocked any U.S. residents from buying into ICOs. To be pretty frank, that is a decision that the company is making on an individual level. That has absolutely nothing to do with the SEC. The SEC has come out and issued cease and desist letters against a couple. The most recent, or I think one of the only ones, is Munchie, Munchee. I don't even know if they're still around now. Munchie ICO. Okay, so SEC shuts down the Munchie ICO. Sends a restaurant app back to the kitchen. I like that, the register. That's pretty funny. But so yeah, that was one of the few ones. The rest is companies out there that are simply scared of SEC future regulation and are therefore choosing not to open their ICOs to U.S. residents so that they avoid potential future regulation in the future. So that is more on a per company basis. There are still quite a few organizations out there that are opening up their ICOs to U.S. investors. Garrett Lucas, what is up, my man? Appreciate the super chat. If wanting to hold long term, what percent loss below investment would you endure before selling? Getting my butt kicked here. I think you want to predetermine that prior to. I think you do want to predetermine that prior to when you enter a position. I think that is fairly important. Is you want to look at that and say that you do want to look at what is going on with the. When you enter, like, let's just say right now you enter into Cardano, just because it's the chart I had open. You enter into Cardano at 5,200 Satoshis. You enter into Cardano at 5,200 Satoshis. You say that if it gets down to 4,000 Satoshis, I'm out because it's going to free fall. Or if it gets down to 4,500 Satoshis, I'm out. It's going to free fall. So I would try to have that in place beforehand, and it also depends upon how confident you are. If it's something that you're just doing as a short-term play, then fine. Maybe you have a tighter stop loss there, or a tighter limit of where you're okay losing money. But if it's something you're just very, very confident in, then have a bigger range, because crypto obviously is very volatile. Thoughts on what will happen with the Ryblox XRB rebrand rumors and community coin of the month coming up? Pump imminent. I mean, to be pretty frank, Ryblox is already pumped pretty hard. So, I mean, to say pump imminent again, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I know there have been a couple guys in here that what we got here. XRB. Kyle's on here. I saw him in here earlier. Kyle called Ryblox when it was at $1.50, I think, potentially earlier. But I don't want to say the pump has passed you by, but it's already pumped significantly. I mean, look at this chart. Like, just because it's going to potentially rebrand doesn't mean that it is. You guys started mentioning in these chats, which is why I love these chats too. Kyle, what's up, dude? There he is. You guys mentioning these chats, which is why sometimes these chats are great, that, hey, it was like December 10th, December 15th, somewhere in that range. You could probably go back and find it. And I was probably like, oh, Ryblox is up like 60%. Maybe I'll wait for a pullback, something like that. Never pulled back and went through the moon. at this point in time, I mean, it's on. Is it on Binance? I think it's coming up on Binance at some point in the future. But it's on a couple. It's on KuCoin and a couple other ones. So decent amount of liquidity now. But I don't want to say the pump is gone, but you're never going to see another pump like you had from the beginning of December to where it is now again, just because that would put it at like a freaking bajillion-dollar marketplace. Can Aon become the next ADA or Cardano? Aon founder is founding board member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. It's a steady move up since October. Third gen blockchain. I do think that the third gen blockchains are pretty interesting places, and that's kind of what I was mentioning too before when I said I was talking about kind of the 5 different places I would have my money besides, or 5 different potential places I'd put money in: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then like an Ethereum competitor. When I say an Ethereum competitor, I'm kind of talking about a third gen blockchain. And there are a lot of companies out there that label themselves, or there are a lot of cryptos that label themselves as third generation blockchains. But I do think that whether or not they actually pan out, or whether Bitcoin or Ethereum can innovate fast enough to be better than these third gen blockchains, having a third gen blockchain in your portfolio in general is something that I think gives you some pretty decent potential upside. So just from that reason alone, I think Aon might be pretty legit. I don't know all that much about the team in general, which person's on within the EAA, but yeah. What are my thoughts on GByte right now? Byteball bites. So I mean, from Byteball's perspective, I don't want to say I've ignored this one, but it's not something that I've looked into too in depth. I've just preferred to go more for those like random third gen, whether it's Cardano or some of the other ones, kind of doing more due diligence on those than I have on Byteball personally. So I can't give you too much on Byteball and why I think it might be legit or not. If you made some money on it, fantastic, but there's going to be a few winners for smart contracts and platforms, and the rest are going to be losers. And I think the key there is to find those winners in the long term. So looking at some more, and guys, I am trying to get through. I see some people saying, you haven't gotten my super chat yet. Yeah, because I'm trying to as much as possible. But can you disclose the multiples you expect from each of your bags? Do you archive your portfolio before you update it with 10K? How many positions would you take? I mean, with something like 10K, I think like having like 5 positions might be interesting. Like having, whether it's like 2K of each, and then if you do get lucky, or if you pick smart and you get one position that might 10x, something of that nature, you are able to turn that $2,000 into 20 grand, and then the rest of your portfolio might stay equal or might go up a little bit. That's kind of the approach I've taken, is having that level of exposure. So if you have $10,000, maybe have two, and look for a couple of those potential like 10xers. And it's been a lucky move for me recently with ZRX and with AirSwap and with some of those guys that have done really, really, really well. So I would say 5 would probably be 5 or 4 would probably be good. Anything more than that, to be pretty frank, I guess in some cases, anything more than that might reduce the amount of due diligence that you can spend researching on those cryptocurrencies, and then it also might I don't know. You don't want to have have $10,000 in crypto and then have 20 positions and be hoping for a bunch of 100x's, because then you'll probably get a bunch of -40s and -50s. Thoughts on trading bots, specifically Profit Tailor? I don't know too much about Profit Trailer, but to be pretty frank, I think that if anybody has a trading bot worth a damn, They're not going to market it off. They're not going to give it to anybody else. If I had a trading bot that was making me 40% a month, or if it was making me whatever, 10% or 15% or 25% a month, to be pretty frank, I love you guys. I love all of you. You're fantastic. You're watching this video right now. And I would never give you access to that trading bot. I would sit there and I would probably just make money and put more money into it and put more money into it. And compounding interest and compounding returns basically dictate that I would be a bajillionaire in like 5 minutes. So, yeah, I think trading bots, for the most part, like on Wall Street, on Wall Street, there's no legit people that are like, oh, yeah, we're going to put out, we're going to do like high frequency trading firms and companies that have algorithmic trading and all that stuff. Like they don't rent out their algorithm. They just take their algorithm and they pay software developers a ton of money to make their algorithm better and then just crush it and crush it and crush it. And they don't give that out to anybody else. But you're against the BitConnect trading bot, LOL. Yeah, because there is no trading bot, bro. It's called referral fees. James Altucher likes ETH. Is that a good core holding? Get him off of my Google AdSense, please. Where can I go right now where I'm going to find James Altucher? I guarantee there's somewhere I can go on the internet where I could find Altucher in 5 seconds. Is it on CoinMarketCap? No. Oh, apparently it's Black Duck is all up in my grill. But yeah, somewhere there's out there. Somewhere out there. What do we got here? But do I think ETH is, do I like ETH? Is it a good core holding? I do think Ethereum is a good core holding. Has it run up significantly recently? Yeah. Is it potentially due for a pullback? I mean, certainly. Look at the last 3 months of Ethereum. Ethereum has gone from, in the last, what do we got? The last 3 months, ETH has gone from, is that super accurate? Wow, yeah. So in the last 3 months, Ethereum has gone from being worth $350 all the way up to $1,300. Granted, there's a lot of other crypto out there that has done better multiples than Ethereum, but Ethereum is so big that I mean, that's an impressive move. Mikey Kessler, what's up, my man? I'll get to your super chat. You gotta wait in line, brother. What do you think about DNT? District 0x, I actually got burned a little bit back in the day by DNT. DNT is one that is fairly interesting because there is a pretty legit team behind it, and it's kind of very well connected. I feel like in the kind of Silicon Valley, San Francisco world out there, where like these guys are friends with a lot of the dudes that are behind some of these projects. You'll see. Yeah, Joe Ergo was an advisor on. He was an advisor on Blooms. Joe Ergo was an advisor on the Gems ICO as well. And then Luis Sende, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of his name. He created Aragon. He is an advisor to the District 0x team. He's an advisor to the Bloom team. He's an advisor to the Gems team. So I feel like there's this like good synergy of talents there. And with what District 0x is doing and the valuation that it has, it might, and it's kind of one that I've thought about taking a pretty decent sized position in the in the near term, as it might sell off here. But yeah, they kind of, to me, in some cases feel like AirSwap, where it hasn't really exploded through the roof, but they have a solid team in place. Somebody said thoughts on Synovio, SNOV. I will definitely get to that when I get to probably the MVP of this entire super chat, of this entire stream, Mike Kessler. If you guys are in the Facebook group, shout out to Mike Kessler. You guys probably like him more than you like me, so shout out Mike. Bad time to buy into VEN, or plenty of room for it to grow. I want to buy in, but I'm afraid after it's climbing and may correct. So I have a pretty decent sized bag of VeChain. I bought in at back December 5th. I looked at it. I bought in on Binance back, I think it was, yeah, December 5th. What do we got here? So here's the, yeah, okay. So I bought into VeChain back December 5th or so. So right around here, kind of one of the initial spikes it has. But if we zoom out a little bit, it has gone up quite a bit since I got in. It's pulled more than a 10x back when I got into, when I let you guys know I got into VeChain. I personally would be very hesitant to buy in here. This would scare the living crap out of me. And that's kind of what the video today was about too, buying into pumps. Like, this is a big old pump. Is it potentially legitimate? Yeah, potentially. But I'm scared, petrified of, I don't want to say I'm petrified, scared of this, but I might look to take a little bit of profits in case there is a pullback. I might wait for a pullback if I were you. Could it potentially go harder? Yeah, absolutely. But that's a little bit scary. Even with the rebrand coming, I don't know. If this were me and I did not buy in down here, I would not be buying in up here. I would not. So that's what I can say to that. John, Donnie Crypto mentions Liliqua. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Thoughts, launching market cap, price, sustainability, love happy hour. I haven't gotten a chance to go through their ICO white paper yet. What do we got? So I haven't gotten a chance to go through these guys at this point in time. Could be very, very much an interesting one to go through. So I need to hop on that at this point in time, but I haven't done a ton of diligence on that. But that was Donnie Crypto that did mention that. And shout out to Donnie for sure. That was a fun time, and he's absolutely a character, and he's not going to hold back his opinion on you, which is good. There's a lot of people that don't say necessarily what they want to say out there, and Donnie's not going to BS you, which is more than you can ask for sure. ETH is mooning and the world is sleeping. I don't know if the world's been sleeping on ETH, but ETH has been mooning. And it's funny because Ripple kind of, I don't want to say Ripple came out of like nowhere and clocked ETH in the face. And then if you look now, Ethereum is now worth over $50 billion worth more than Ripple. So Ripple overtook Ethereum, and then Ethereum is like, nah, you're a banker coin, and took it back over. But Big Daddy Bitcoin's still looking down like, whatever. His podcast is great, Cranberry Juice. Yeah, shout out to the guys from, if you listen at all, to podcasts outside of mine, of course, and if you listen to my podcast on Apple, iTunes, whatever, hit the subscribe button, hit the rating, throw me a review. Much love. But Crypto Street Podcast, those guys are really good. I like them a lot. I listen to them all the time. So Crypto Street Podcast, Donnie was on there, but they had Ari Paul, they had Luke from Venture Coinist. I thought that was a great episode. So those guys are, if you're ever looking for a legit podcast, Crypto Street Podcast, that is one of the ones that I personally listen to. I think they do a good job interviewing people. So Everix, haven't done a ton on these guys, to be pretty frank with you. Could certainly add them to the list. There are a couple different companies out there now that are trying to, or cryptos out there that are trying to do, whether it's borrowing or trading. I don't know. Open Borders, small. I guess it could be interesting, but I need to do a little bit more research on that. But off the top, nothing like strikes me in the face. Have I looked into arbitrage with crypto, and is it practical given the fees, transaction, confirmation, latency? Thanks. Arbitrage personally, when you're looking at it, looks great off the top, but somebody mentioned what pod? It's Crypto Street Podcast. Those guys are solid, but arbitrage looks good. You go on, let's say you go to wherever it is. You just go to CoinMarketCap. So we'll go to CoinMarketCap and we'll look at just Bitcoin in general. So I'll click on Bitcoin and I'll click on markets because why not? That's where you're going to see some level of arbitrage. And you're going to see, okay, so if I went on, granted the arbitrage here isn't that bad anymore, but you're seeing on Bitcoin, if I were to, actually, let's see if I could do, try to go to crypto compare and see. All right, I'm dropping off the top of my head where the best place to go would be to see the levels of arbitrage. But basically, if you were to go to CoinMarketCap or any of these other places and you see, okay, I could buy Bitcoin at $14,500 on GDAX, and then I could buy or I could sell that Bitcoin for $15,000 on I could sell that Bitcoin for $15,000 on Bitstamp. I could just do that all day long and I could make $500. The problem is that for the most part, there's a reason that there's arbitrage there, and it's because there's difficulty levels in terms of transferring that money. And then in addition to that, if you aren't this, if you don't know who the idiot in the room is, in a lot of cases, you got to look in the mirror because it's you. And I think a lot of people have gone through this process where they've thought about, oh, okay, I'm going to be looking, or I'm going to do some arbitrage here, and I'm going to buy Bitcoin to USD on Bitfinex because it's 14,369, and then I'm going to sell it on GDAX because I can make $75, and I could just do that 10 times a day, make $750, and I'm making six figures. But with that point, there's a reason that arbitrage is there, and there's typically algorithms and bots in between that, where if there's is any level of arbitrage to take advantage of, the algorithms and bots are beating you to that. So for the most part, unless you are very technical, I don't think it's a big, massive thing. Thoughts on Qhash? What we got here? Got to move the mic back. Oh, not Qhash. There's dyslexia for you. So this is interesting in some respects. I think Liquid, and then the actual crypto on it, Quash, or however you want to pronounce it. I've been trying to learn a lot more about liquidity within the crypto space and non-crypto space. And there's actually another kind of going to another podcast episode there, Flippening. They had somebody on, Clay Collins, who is actually the former CEO of Lead Pages, which is a software I used to use just when I was kind of creating websites on the side for fun. But Clay Collins has a new podcast called Flippening. He's getting more into cryptocurrency, and it's a pretty solid podcast. But he interviewed a liquidity provider for the cryptocurrency market, specifically for ERC20 tokens, and that was a pretty cool episode. I think the subject of liquidity is pretty fascinating. I don't necessarily know when they say non-liquid crypto markets, what they might be providing it for, how they might be providing that liquidity. But the overall subject as a whole does appeal to me, but I haven't gotten a chance to go through the white paper yet. But this actually is something that, with the overall market capitalization and the kind of idea behind it, this would definitely be one that I'd like to add to my list to kind of do more diligence on for sure. Can you explain ICOs and how to invest in them? Pretty simple. An ICO is an initial coin offering. Basically, a company provides what is a token in this case, you can see here, Quash had a token sale. There's a token sale. You typically send Ethereum is the most common way. You send Ethereum to basically an address. It is a smart contract. That smart contract will pay you Ethereum based, or pay you tokens back based upon the number of Ethereum that you are provided with, or that you send into that smart contract. Depending upon, so for one Quash equals 0.001 ETH. So if you paid 1 ETH, you would get, was it 1,000 Quash? I'm not looking at the zero multiple right now because I'm stupid, but you pay 1 ETH, you get 1,000 Quash, something like that. And from that respect, typically it's supposed to be most ICOs are utility tokens, to the point where you're supposed to gain some utility from utilizing the platform. But to be pretty frank, most people are simply speculating that, hey, the value of this is going to go up in the future, and I want to speculate on the price. So I think that 1 Quash right now at ICO is going to be worth, or 0.001 ETH is going to be worth 1 Quash at ICO. And I think that a month later, it's going to be worth 0.00, or whatever, it's 10 Quash is going to be, or half a Quash is going to be worth 0.001 ICO, something like that. So fairly interesting. ICOs potentially can make you a ton of money, but it's cash. Okay, so I'm stupid. Thank you, Ryan. But so cash, not Quash, because I'm a fucking moron. Sorry for cursing. But yeah, so basically most people are throwing money into ICOs with the thought process that they are going to, appreciate in value, and they don't really have too much of a interest in the actual utility. But ICOs are, I think, if you spend time, there are a ton of ICOs that come out. The big thing now, at least in ICOs, is that you really need to be aware of an ICO probably 2 months before the token sale. You need to be on the whitelist. You need to potentially be involved in a pre-sale. Other than that, you're probably going to miss out on the ICOs that really do matter, because most people in the industry know which ICOs are going to crush it, and it's just a matter of whether they or not they get in on them. Crypto Watchdog, what is up, man? Do you think Bitcoin will go up and test 19,000? Now it's on a run. When will it become mainstream? Is Bitcoin on a run right now? I haven't checked since we started the stream. No, it's not really on a run. Ooh, hey-oh. So it's not really on a run at all. I think some of the regulatory issues are definitely something that you want to keep in mind, depending upon what the deal with Korea is. But also, too, this is pretty interesting. So I tweeted this out. The U.S. Senate to discuss cryptocurrency Bitcoin risks in a February hearing with top market regulators. And I tweeted that and said, save us, Neeraj. Neeraj works for Coin Center, which is the cryptocurrency policy think tank in the U.S. For one of the previous videos out there, I am doing a donation drive after I hit 100,000 subscribers. Wanted to do a donation drive for Coin Center because they are the guys out there that are fighting on the front lines with the government, basically with the government, to make sure that cryptocurrency, any regulations that go through with cryptocurrency, that it is okay, and that it is somewhat favorable to us, and that is something that I think we should all be advocating for. So somebody's saying everything's tanking at once. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at the old Delta application. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I'm down a lot of money. Whatever. It is what it is. One guy gave him $20 and he didn't answer his question. I haven't gotten to it yet. Jesus freaking. I go in order. Like, you guys, give me a break for 5 seconds. And where's my guy, Mike Newman? I'll definitely get to your question. Hopefully you're still on, but I go in order. So apologies on that, Mike, but I will absolutely get to that. I certainly promise you of that. So let's see here. I found my lost white paper with a ton of app coins. Feeling generous. If you give $5, will you invest in app coin on Binance Live? Love your videos. I appreciate that, Rohan, but I don't want to open up my Binance because I to be pretty frank. I don't feel like showing everybody what I have in Binance. I could have $1, I could have $1 bajillion in Binance right now. I don't necessarily want to show that to anybody. I don't need to dox myself as much as I already have. Greetings. 23 KRK. Can't go into too much in detail in Zencash. I got a couple other comments to get to, but I never read your comments. I'm reading your comments right now, my man. Crypto Bismol coins. You said Frank again. What's up, Cormac? I wish red wasn't my favorite color. Nano S is sold out. Would you advise against buying on Amazon as it may potentially be tampered with? Also, is there a limit to the number of Bitcoin? I actually bought my Nano S on Amazon because there was like a 2-month delay back in the summer. They ramped up production and then they just got crushed again by it. So I bought my Ledger on Amazon. There's a link below if you want to buy your buy Ledger Nano S, which is what I use to keep my coins on Amazon. It's in the description of this video if you want to hop on that to get a Ledger. But I think there is a pretty significant, I think it's like a 3-month delay now. So that is something on the regular website that's unfortunate. They have a great Ledger. I love the Ledger Nano S. It's awesome. It is so legit. I think there's a limit of the number of the amount of data that you can have on it. You can have, I believe it's like 4 or 5 applications. So you can have like a Bitcoin app and Ethereum app. So I have like Bitcoin, I have Ethereum, I have Zcash, and I have Litecoin maybe. That's like the 4 apps I have my Ledger Nano S. But when you have the Ethereum app on your Ledger Nano S, you can send any ERC20 tokens to it. So obviously your Ethereum address is the same for Ethereum as it is on any ERC20 tokens. So that allows you to store a ton on Ethereum. And I use my Ether wallet for that. I got mine on Amazon. It's been fine. I saw somebody bought one on eBay, and that was basically like a fake Nano S on eBay. I would not recommend buying a Ledger Nano S on eBay. I think that's kind of stupid. And that's unfortunate that person did that. I wish them. I hope they didn't lose too much money. But yeah, I would see if you can buy it on Amazon, make sure you buy it from an authorized seller or an authorized reseller, but that has like legitimate verified votes, and then just make sure when you get it that it looks legit. If you got to go on Reddit, if you have to ask some people, then do that. But yeah, I'm a fan of Ledger Nano S. Steph, trying to make a position in a few privacy coins. I've been doing some research and wondering how you decided on Zcash. Thanks for all the content. I appreciate that. I'm a fan personally of both Zcash and Monero. I bought Zcash because there was a point in time where Monero was pumping really, really hard. I opened up a position in Zcash prior to that. I think when I entered my position in Zcash, it was around $300 or so. But I also think Monero is pretty undervalued as well in comparison to a lot of other things. I think that Monero is actually being utilized. It has a legitimate use case. Granted, I like Zcash. I went into Zcash over Monero because Monero was pumping really hard when I got into it, and I didn't feel like buying the Monero top. And then also because there's a lot of institutional interest behind Zcash. I like Zuko, and I like kind of what the Zcash kind of foundation might allow for. But I've also been interested in opening up a position in Monero in addition to one in Zcash, because I think privacy coins, to be pretty frank, I think both Zcash and Monero should probably be, or at least Monero should be a top 10 cryptocurrency by market cap. I think it should be. I think Monero is probably more valuable than Stellar. I think it's probably more valuable than IOTA. It's probably more valuable than a lot of things. It's actually being utilized and has a really solid use case. So, yeah, that's my thought process there. And yeah, Bitcoin is dipping. I'm not sure if that's specifically related to the Korea news or not, but I'm not too worried about that. It gives me an opportunity personally to when Bitcoin dips like this, I take that as an opportunity to dollar cost average my way in, and that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing here on what I am doing as basically I'm talking. When do you think XLM will free fall 3,000 Satoshis? So I don't own any XLM. I haven't ever owned any XLM. I don't know where the support level might be for XLM, to be pretty frank. I mean, it shot up from really 1,500 Satoshis. That kind of looked like the area of consolidation for at least a week or two, all the way up to 6,000 and then dropped down. And I don't want to say it's free falling, but it's kind of free falling a little bit. So if you have a number in mind there, Rick, maybe dollar cost average in, but it looks like it could certainly dip quite a bit. Somebody said ETN Tech is identical to Monero. That's because it was a hard fork of Monero. So yeah, that would make sense, right? Somebody said Korean exchanges raided, not shut down. Yeah, absolutely. You know, they weren't shut down, but they were raided by the police. I have 13K. How should I invest at this point? Nulls. You should invest in hitting the space bar. Outside of that, I wouldn't put, if you have $13,000 or whatever it is to move around, I would not put that all in one cryptocurrency. Could that work out really well? Yeah, absolutely. Could you also take a haircut? I think you could as well there. So I would recommend spreading that around. I think a lot of people are, to be honest, I've seen a decent amount of shilling of nulls. It's kind of gone straight through the roof without a pullback. I mean, it's still cheap in terms of the overall market capitalization perspective, but I wouldn't put all $13,000 that you have in one cryptocurrency. I recommend spacing that out. Michael Newman, what's up, dude? Thank you very much for the very generous super chat. I do appreciate that. Very kind of you. Hopefully you're still on. Sorry for taking basically 30 minutes to get to you. So very sorry about that. But sold all my Tron. Look for a nice profit. Looking at throwing some at APPC. Thoughts on them? Also, any other coin you like on Binance? I've got decent holdings of ELF, Cardano, ZRX, and VeChain. Looking to add one or two more. Thanks, man. Thank you very much again, Michael. I do appreciate that. APPC, AppCoins. I don't know if these guys just recently ICO'd or what do we got here? So they're just on Binance now. Supercharged App Store Protocol. To be pretty frank, I haven't seen these guys that often yet. Looks like they literally just hit Binance. Maybe they just hit Binance within the past 72 hours or so. And they've had a nice run since they've been on Binance. I don't know what the relationship there is. Obviously, it's pretty fat volume. I mean, we're talking about $132 million of volume. I don't know the exact circulating supply yet, so can't necessarily determine the market capitalization there. But it's interesting. I don't know if I'd throw it. It's interesting. I mean, being on Binance right away, right after the ICO, I think is a pretty good sign. And once it's on Binance, it probably has a decent opportunity to get to some of the other, to the other places as well. So, I mean, I would do a little bit more due diligence on it. I haven't yet, just because it's fairly new. Robert, what's up, man? Hope you had a chance to look at Lux. Got my bags a few weeks ago, paying off, but what isn't? Would love to hear your opinion on the projects. Cheers. Going back to the Crypto Street podcast, I forget what dude on there owns Lux, but he loves Lux coin. So, like everything else in crypto, Lux has been paying off recently. I mean, that's been a nice movement up for certain. Solely traded on Cryptopia. I do not have a Cryptopia account, but they kind of have all the buzzwords in place. You know, you got a GPU algorithm, so I don't want to say ASIC resistant, but you can mine it with a GPU. There's SegWit in place. You get segregated witness there. There are master nodes, so you can get recurring, or you could have passive income, or you could have master nodes or whatever. I think there is an element of privacy to, I believe, maybe I'm nuts, but I think there's an element of privacy to Lux as well. So they kind of hit a lot of the, proof of stake 2.0. I don't even think proof of stake 1.0 is working yet, but now we got proof of stake 2.0. So, I don't have too much on them yet, but I know there's a couple of people that like showing them and joke around about them, but they've done, you got that buzzword bingo. Somebody just mentioned them, which is always a funny thing. Now getting to my favorite person in the super chat. Sorry to disappoint anybody else, but Mike 4VR, aka Mike Kessler, the man, the myth, the legend. Mike's moonshot pick, Snove or Synovio. Not a terribly crazy market capitalization yet. It's on KuCoin, which is one of the more popular exchanges recently. I've looked at, some people have mentioned KuCoin in the past, and this is one that I looked at, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if lead generation on the blockchain is really that big of a deal. And I don't remember when it was, but it was fairly early in January, so I probably missed a 2x already on Synovio. I still don't, this is one that I like look at, and I still don't necessarily know if this is like anything that, I work in sales. So I work in sales. I deal with leads on a daily basis. I deal with leads on a consistent basis. I work at a Fortune 500 company. And I've also partnered with small companies, and I've helped small companies as well. I don't know if they'd ever necessarily utilize a decentralized lead generation platform. I don't think they care about decentralization. Anybody that wants leads just wants the quality of leads to... anybody who wants leads just wants a high quality of leads. They don't really care about anything else. So why would I necessarily care about decentralization? I haven't dove deep enough into Snove to know exactly how that might work or what might happen there. I do see my actual employer on the on the list of our users. So yeah, but I still don't know. And when they say our users, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like the entire company. That could be one person, I'm sure. So who knows? But I see my employer there. I vote for an 8-hour happy hour. We could donate enough so you could leave the Fortune 500. $5 times 1,000 followers is $5,000 per day. Yeah. If you guys want to have me broadcast for 8 hours a day, I'm open for it. Let's do it. Yeah, I work for Lego, guys. Blocks on blocks on blocks, baby. You'll never guess. You'll never know. Dumonskate, I shouted out Mike Kessler already, my man. He's the hero here. Somebody said, I haven't heard you talk about OMG for a while. Thoughts? I still hold a pretty decent bag of OMG. Nothing crazy, but still got a bag of OMG. What will happen when Bitcoin loses market dominance, which it already has? Appreciate that, Ben, though. Will people trade in Satoshi? Will Bitcoin be the store of value coin? Will the new leader get as much mainstream recognition as Bitcoin? Cheers. I don't necessarily know if anybody knows. It's not an easy... Dean, what's up? Hope the ACL is all right. I don't think that there is... I don't think that anybody necessarily knows... I still think Bitcoin is going to be around for quite some time. I know it's running into issues right now. Yeah, I am actually a fry cook at NYU. Though I think the one NYU Chick-fil-A that they have, Chick-fil-A is bomb, by the way. But yeah, I'm a fry cook at NYU in the cafeteria. But yeah, getting back to that point. I think that Bitcoin still has a really big head start. I think that the adoption is there. I don't know if anybody is over. I don't necessarily see anybody overtaking Bitcoin for the time being. I don't necessarily think that, and I think there's a lot of, I think that there is a lot of just momentum behind Bitcoin, even though it's dealing with a lot of scalability issues. Every crypto that has met some level of usability is running into that. Bobby's day job is driving for Uber. That would actually be pretty sweet. Cardano's kicking me in the nuts like you read about. Yeah. Viva. So going back to it, Donnie, what is up, dude? GDAX rejected my $6,000 wire since 12/18/2017 due to name mismatch, which I still haven't received yet. Is this delay normal? Which price trading bot software would you recommend? There are definitely issues with GDAX and a lot of these exchanges in terms of the wire transfers, but in that respect, there are. I would call your bank, get in contact with your bank. Also, see if you can open up Coinbase and GDAX have a support line now, so you can call up the support number. I would try to do that as well. See if you can get in contact with them. As far as a trading bot software, like I said before, if anybody has a trading bot, if anybody has software that's making them money with a trading algorithm or a quote-unquote trading bot, they're not going to rent that out to anybody. They're not going to offer that to you. So I would be very hesitant of any type of trading bot software out there. I know people, even just on that podcast I was talking about before, Donnie Crypto, who was on here before, has his company. He's paying a developer like a full-time salary to develop their own trading bot to trade crypto. He's not buying it from somebody else for $100 a month. He's paying somebody probably well over 6 figures to develop a trading bot, an algorithm for them to trade on a consistent basis. So something to take into consideration. Base Logician, love the show and info. Can you please tell us about your background, achievements, success, failure in the crypto world? Thanks, man. Just quick background in crypto. I got into crypto in December 2013, the first big pump. I initially was very interested in Dogecoin. If you didn't know that, Dogecoin back in the day was the GOAT. Dogecoin was awesome. I love Dogecoin. That was the most fun community when you would donate. People literally in Dogecoin, in the Reddit Dogecoin, sponsored a NASCAR driver to have the Dogecoin logo on the front of the NASCAR. Also sent the Jamaican bobsled team to the Olympics, paid for water for like a school in Africa, like did all this ridiculously awesome stuff. Dogecoin was fantastic. And then like early 2014, some scammers started coming into the Dogecoin ecosystem and going to ruin Dogecoin. So that was not an enjoyable. That sucked to see that go, but that was kind of my initial just like, I got into crypto back when Bitcoin spiked from $250 all the way up to $1,000+ and then crashed back down over time. My background, work in software sales, and then I have a background in just enterprise tech and software. So Bobby Newber would be like cash cab with crypto. Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's get that rolling. I got that nice camera that I never ever use. What do you think about, let's see here. What do you think about XVG? Will it bounce back? I'm not a massive fan of XVG. I know there's the Verge, XVG, the standard, Verge gang hodl strong, but I'm not a massive Verge guy. Not a massive Verge guy. So it's consolidated decently since its crazy pump up, but I wouldn't buy Verge. I think there's better privacy coins out there. I think a lot of people, my face is red. That's because this lighting sucks and it's 900 degrees in my office. So yeah, that's why. Also could be because I had 6 glasses of whiskey. But yeah, I'm just not a big Verge guy. It pumped up massively in what I would think is kind of an unnatural way, and it's still up 2,000% from where it was. So you're still buying on a 2,000% pump. What are your thoughts on COS? My thoughts on COS would be you made a lot of money if you bought in early December. Yeah, it's It's mostly an exchange and payment gateway. I think it's primarily traded on their own exchange. Most of the volume comes from their own exchange. Trying to pull up the actual exchange to see what the deal is with costs. All right, costs have had enough. You lose costs. No, that's it. I don't know too much about them. I haven't had a chance to use the exchange at all. But yeah, not off to a hot start. Although a lot of these exchanges have Ether Delta, 0x, all of them have issues loading. Spank Chain, I'm buying a boatload. No, I'm kidding, but not really. So Sumo Coin, yeah, smaller market cap in general. Great name, great name. Somebody said, Chris said, F, I hate this shit. I just lost a shit load of money in an hour. Yeah, let's take a quick look again at Delta. I'm down a lot of money in the past hour since I started this, so this happy hour has not been a profitable one for me. But that's crypto. Not to tweet my own horn here, but I spoke about this the other day. This is something where, what do we got? Where is it? Yeah, here. It's literally my thought process. Crypto is volatile. It is volatile. It is ridiculous. It is crazy. You got to learn from it. You have to embrace it. You have to enjoy it. When you see crypto down, it literally now, it doesn't affect me at all. I'm like, oh, nice. Bitcoin's down. Crypto's down. Maybe I'm going to buy more. Maybe I'm going to short a little crypto. Who knows? But, yeah, I just embrace it now because everybody loves crypto when they're, in the past couple of days, my portfolio is going up 5% every day, 10% every day, making a lot of money. And then you have a day like today where it all pulls back. At some point in time, those upswings have to equalize. So you gotta get used to it. I'm guessing you work for AT&T because there's an and on your shelf in the back. Yep, that's it. I got that ampersand or whatever it's called. Does an ICO success impact the value of Ethereum? I don't necessarily think so. I think that the number of the number of ICOs that occur on Ethereum's network does positively impact the overall market cap, or it does positively impact the overall utility of Ethereum. But if one ICO is super valuable, like let's say OMG is worth over $1 billion or whatever, that doesn't necessarily, I don't think that essentially makes Ethereum more valuable, but I think the more ICOs that occur on the network, that is a beneficial thing in the long run. So we see the volatility is why it's profitable. Yeah, absolutely. How do you short crypto? On margin, on some of these exchanges, whether it's BitMEX or Bitfinex or whatever, but it's not recommended unless you know kind of what you're getting into and what the dangers and the risks there are. VN killed it to me for me today. Yeah, absolutely saved the portfolio for sure. Just want to say thank you. Thank you very much, Bradley. I really do appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much, dude. Can I get a fib on the Coinigy chart? There's probably people, to be pretty frank, that are better at providing you a legitimate fib. I am not super confident in my TA abilities enough to, with 1,500 people on the line, to say, hey, this is a solid Fibonacci. This is a solid fib on this chart. So I want to avoid embarrassing myself and also say that I am much better at just overall fundamental analysis and getting a feel for the trends of the market than I am at throwing lines in a chart, and there are definitely better people out there for that. So YouTube University has excellent fib courses. So looking at, somebody said, Devin, what's up, dude? The Narig, I don't even know how to pronounce this one. Real estate coupon. I don't know too much about these guys. I think real estate, to be pretty frank, just looking at the website in general, I'm not blown away by the website off the top. It's a pretty basic website that I could probably throw together in 5 minutes. So I'm not blown away by the website just in general right away. I think real estate on the blockchain is interesting, especially in developing countries as well as some other places. But outside of that, outside of, I think having like tokenized, if I were to sell my house, I own my house. If I were to sell a portion of my house, I think that'd be kind of interesting. If you were to sell equity in your house, that'd be pretty cool. Or to sell a portion of equity in your house, that would be pretty interesting. So there are a number of ones that are fairly interesting. Guy in the chat room lost $200,000 shorting XRP. That's rough. That's not good. It's a rough way to go. I'm gonna just pull up. Let's see here on the other page. See what's happening with the old portfolio. If I'm getting just absolutely mashed or not. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are just not having a good time right now overall with the portfolio, seeing a lot of your money potentially dissipate. What do we got here? Ron S. Idiot. Thanks, man. Damn, ballers everywhere. So let's take a look here at oh boy, here goes the. So I'm getting text messages from my friends. Shout out Jordan. What's up, my man? Jacob mentioned, what is my updated portfolio? So we can talk about my portfolio now live. My portfolio has not changed in terms of the holdings. What has changed is the percentages of value. So to be pretty frank, right now, 0x and AirSwap are now probably my second and third largest, close to my second and third largest holdings because they've gone up quite a bit. And Cardano has dropped about half of what it was. So, and Bitcoin has dropped a little bit too. So, and Ethereum has risen up nicely too. So, 0x and AirSwap, at least for the time being, have gotten crushed pretty heavily. So, those are up quite a bit. The actual components of my portfolio aren't different. It's really just the value of what's in it. So I haven't made any buys or sells recently. Somebody said there's a new article on Reuters. Let's take a look here. See what's up. Trump blast. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. That's not good. Yeah, that's no bueno at all. South Korea Justice Minister saying they are preparing a bill to ban cryptocurrency trading. And we are seeing a drop right now in what's going on with Bitcoin, and I'm sure the rest of the crypto markets in general. So that is, we're seeing some pretty. They are really preparing a bill to ban cryptocurrency trading through the exchanges. That's not great because, to be pretty frank, South Korea is a massive portion of the volume that comes from cryptocurrency. However, to be frank, China was like 90% of the volume that came from Bitcoin at one point in time, and now China is now like not even on the map. And if you guys here, we'll zoom back the charts a little bit to the past year. Maybe you're around back in September, but this looks like a little blip on the radar. Like this, you're probably looking, if you weren't around in September, like, oh yeah, whatever, this is nothing, like nothing happened. If we zoom back in, here we go. This was a freaking dip. So basically, the market was crushing it. The market was doing well. And then we got our good friends in China that came in and said, hey, we're going to ban ICOs. And then they said, hey, we're going to ban basically all crypto or fiat to crypto conversion. And the market for Bitcoin dropped. This was Bitcoin. The rest of everything else dropped like 34%. It just went off a cliff. It sucked. Everybody was freaking out. The market just went nuts. At one point in time, I think from the top, it dropped 40% or so. But let's zoom out. And keep in mind, China was like literally the biggest market for cryptocurrency. It was massive. It was everything. Like all the money came out of China. Zoom out, see what happens. Oh, it's down here. So Korea could be big news. This could be a big dip. It could not be. But yeah, this is an interesting time for certain. So let's see what ends up. I'm just taking a little looky-loo here at what's happening with some of these other things too. Trying to log into Binance on the other screen to see what's going on in my old Binance account to make sure I'm not just dying as I'm live on the phone with you guys. You man's got to eat too, right? Take a look at the funds. Not great. Not ideal. Is what it is, I suppose. Let's take a quick peek. Oh, man. Yeah, the market is, so the market's dipping. But, I mean, I think long-term you want to look at this stuff and see, does it really mean that much to you is this something that really does drop your confidence in crypto, in Bitcoin, and anything else like that, or are you all right with it? So somebody said numb the pain with whiskey. I still got a good amount. But this is why this is why crypto is awesome, because you don't see this happen in the regular marketplace. You do not see this happen in the regular marketplace. This is, somebody said the 1 to 5 minute candles are scary. Yeah, let's look at the past. There we go. Here's the past day. We're falling off nicely. Just whoop through the floor. I guess if we're breaking 13.5, that's probably just off the top. That looks like it's probably not the best place to be if we break 13.5. But yeah, we got good timing right now. It is we're dipping. We are most certainly dipping. Throw me a hands up emoji if you're freaking out right now. Simply Grouch, RIP us. RIP everybody. Or you greedy son of a bitches, you just made 35, you just made, 100%, 200% in the past 2 weeks, and now you're down 30%, and now you're freaking out. It could be either or. Hands up emoji. I sold it all, you weak hand. No, I'm kidding. You guys, and that's the one thing that's annoying about crypto too, is like, somebody will tell you, you got to buy, you got to hold, you got to do this. Do whatever you want. It's your money. You can do whatever you damn well please with your money. Am I going to do something different with it? Yeah, probably, but do whatever you want. You can buy, you can hold, you can short, you can sell. I don't care. Go long, whatever. We're below the 50-day. Uh-oh. In real time, we are falling through the floor. Let's, here, let me sign out it. Let's see here. I'm going to sign out of GDAX and then pull up the, here we go, the exchange. Let's watch the depth chart just go absolutely nuts. Got a little wall at 13.6. Does that hold? My guess is no. Only drugs will numb this pain. Now, stay drug-free, brother. Drink whiskey. Oh, 13.6 is going down. It's down. It's dead. It's done. And we're going to 13.5. We're going to hold 13.5. That is the question. Yeah, I would call this a healthy correction, that's for sure. What is happening? People are saying, what is happening? Holy shit, holy shit. I would say a lot of this is a result of South Korea. You can see here, South Korea rated the two largest cryptocurrency, two of the top 10 largest cryptocurrency exchanges around, both BitHum and Coin1. They rated them for tax evasion, and now they are saying there's a bill to potentially ban cryptocurrency trading in South Korea, which is one of the largest crypto markets out there. So I don't know how long this dip will last, how low it'll go, but I'm interested in seeing how it goes. How do you drink this long without needing to pee? Willpower, brother, willpower. You know what? We'll do one more drink and then we'll go to bed. Actually, I'm kidding. I'm not going. Who's kidding? I'm not going to bed tonight. Witnessing history. Cheers to the dip. We'll do that. Cheers to the dip, folks. I ran out of ice. It's warm. Not a fan of warm whiskey. Especially when this room is blazing hot. Panic sell me all of your Bitcoin. Somebody said, well, we'll take it on a later note. What whiskey is that? It is Yippee-Ki-Yay High West, a blend of straight rye whiskey. I'm a fan of rye whiskey. That is my jam. Poor Bitcoin Cash falling off a cliff too, even though, woo, look at that last hour for Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, 2,700. That red candle that's a sight to behold. It's beautiful. Bobby, how old are you? 47. Oh boy, let's see. 13.5 goes down. It's about to get interesting, at least on GDAX. I'm kind of rooting for blood here. I'm kind of rooting for some. No, yeah, I definitely don't. Ooh. My portfolio. It's dead. It's done. You guys are killing me from selling my portfolio right now. It's hurting. This hour candle on Bitcoin going from 14.3 down to 13.5. That is it's a healthy correction, some might say. It's not my first dip, and it won't be your last. And if you are in crypto now, this is not your This will not be your last dip ever. So let's get it rolling. DM Tai Fan, thank you very much for the super chat. I need that now because I'm broke. So thank you. I'm not broke actually, but yeah, we're down quite a bit since we started this chat. We got 5 fig swings. Tron dying again. That's not surprising. It's time to buy. Let's see a little bit of support before. Ooh, that 13.5 that collapses. Should be a fun one. Will the dip continue? Somebody said you look nervous. Yeah, I got too much money on the line. Let's see here. Looking at all these questions. Call me a weekend. I think I'll save some money in this sell-off. You might. No, I mean, you can be a weekend. You can be a strong hand. Do whatever you want to do. If you are scared right now and you want to sell some, sell some. Who gives a shit? Sell some. Do you. Whatever you feel comfortable with. I mean, I think it's silly when people say, hey, you got to buy, you got to sell. You might look at this and say, buy the dip. Absolutely. This might be a fantastic. I mean, this is clearly a dip, but could it go a lot lower? If this news is, if there's a lot behind this news, if this bill goes through, that might knock crypto down for a little bit of time. So, yeah. I'm going to make a shirt. I survived the January 10th. Ooh, there, wow. There goes that 13.5 sell wall or buy wall. And then there goes 13.4. And we are, somebody cue Tom Petty free falling because we are now free falling. And yeah. Let's another moderator just handle this. Who do I have as a mod here? Where's Mike? Is Mike my mod? I don't even know. If it breaks, where do you think it'll go to? To be pretty frank, Simply Grouch, I appreciate the comment there. I haven't looked at the charts in real time enough right now to know exactly where this might be going, but yeah, I'm looking at this right now, and this could drop for a bit of time. That's definitely something that doesn't look like a lot of momentum stopping it. You're going to see a lot of articles tomorrow. You're going to see a lot of CNBC posts. You're going to see a lot of shit on Bloomberg. It's gonna get hot in here, and let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it going, baby. If you guys need an inhaler, I don't have a brown paper bag for you to breathe into. Where's Giphy? It's kind of funny. I noticed a lot of the super chats stopped coming in when you guys went broke. I'm kidding, but I'd rather not get super chats right now because this is too entertaining. Oh boy. GDAX went from 13.5 to 13.1 in a quick time frame. To be honest, if you're buying right now, you got brass balls. You got brass balls. There's the super chat. Evian, Argus, hanging, Bobby. We're hanging in. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. We're trying to alleviate some of the stress around this. Where is my man? I'm trying to find Evian, Argus. Where are you guys right now? This is how many how many people right now are looking at this like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. So yeah, that might be what you're thinking about right now. But relax, try to figure out a strategy, work towards it. Jason down 68K. I hope that 68K Satoshi is and not 68,000. But Jake or Jason, appreciate that super chat, my man. Thank you so much for that. And again, shout out to my dude Evian, like the water. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of your name, but yeah, let's. I'm kind of interested in seeing a little bit of below 13K bloodbath. That might make it a fun time. We might see some stuff going on if we hit below 13K. So let's keep an eye on this depth chart on GDAX, because this could make it interesting. That is for sure. And the order book is just so like a liquid right now on GDAX. It's just like swaying all over the place. A little bit of a bounce. Seeing a little bit temporarily until the order book might fill back out. $12.5 on Binance. If that's USDT, then it's one thing. What brand of whiskey you drink? I drink any brand of whiskey, but right now it's High West Rye Yippee-Ki-Yay. Somebody said this is BS play. They will not ban it. Shit ton of Koreans bought crypto. That would not be allowed. HODL. Yeah, I mean, I think Korea is one of the biggest markets. Apparently, Koreans love to gamble and bet on cryptocurrency. That is one of the big concerns. That's one of the big concerns that is happening right now, is that it's too much gambling on crypto in general. So let's see, market cap down to 680. Yeah, we'll take a look at CoinMarket. Looks like for the time being, a little bit of stabilization, at least in the GDAX order books. Who knows what's happening with the rest of the crypto world. But yeah, we got $669 billion in market cap. In the past day, we have lost... it hasn't even adjusted. So... at one point in time, we're up to, we've lost about probably 80, I don't know. Okay, no, that's not completely updated. So, CoinMarketCap is dropping the boat there. Great opportunity to buy. Yeah, I think this could certainly be a nice dip to buy into. Kind of per usual, I'm a dollar cost average guy because this could dip a bunch lower. So I'm dollar cost averaging in here a little bit. And to be pretty frank, too, I was riding a little bit of a wave short after the initial Korea news dropped, because that scared me. So kind of hedge my bet a little bit on the hedge my bets a little bit. I'm pretty much 90% long, but there we go. This is normal, you weirdos. It's not a happy hour. It's a crypto sad hour. Get used to it. This is crypto. It's always a sad hour until you have a 10x. Then it's happy as hell. Funny to see noobs panicking. Yeah, you do this once or twice, then you're like, oh, wow, this stuff's normal. Like, I'm looking at this right now, and yeah, what are you going to do? It's life. Now, the gains aren't gains until you take them. Until you hold on to until you take profit. Those gains are not there until you actually hold on to them. Or until you take profit. What is happening right now for those who are recently joining? Korea came out number one, rated the offices of BitThumb, which is the second largest cryptocurrency exchange by volume, and Coin1, which is the 10th largest, and is now apparently preparing a bill to ban cryptocurrency trading. The same thing happened back, if you guys were not around, but the same thing happened back when Bitcoin Bitcoin got banned back in China, or like cryptocurrency trading in the fiat to crypto world kind of got banned back in China. There was a massive pullback, a 50% pullback. That was huge. It was the first time Bitcoin was ever about to hit $5,000. It was just at the cusp of hitting $5,000, and it pulled back about 40% and then proceeded to just go on a crazy run. So that's one reason why I'm not too incredibly worried. Even if this is legit, until the United States bans crypto, which maybe they do, maybe they don't, but until the U.S. bans crypto, I'm not worried. And then somebody said, Bloomberg talking about mining in China and regulations with Korea. Crypto mining in China has basically been done for a while. So if you're not too familiar, a lot of the miners in crypto, a lot of the Bitcoin miners are moving from China to Canada, actually, and some other places because China is banning mining in China. So the Bitcoin miners have moved elsewhere, or are moving elsewhere, or are in the process of moving elsewhere. So I am not too worried. Somebody said basically Korea is causing FUD, buying all these assets, allowing more whales. Yeah, who knows? I mean, this could be a coordinated FUD effort. This could be something completely different. Could be the start of a not so hot bear market. This could be the start of the bear market. We've been in a bull market for a hot minute. So, yeah, this could be that start. But I don't know. It could also just be a blip in the radar. To say you have one idea about anything, I could say this. I will say this. A lot of people talking about, you know, TA, fundamental analysis, blah, 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 blah. Nobody predicted this 5 hours ago. Nobody's saying, yo, Korea is going to ban cryptocurrency. Nobody predicted it. So, unless you tell me somebody did, but nobody was out there saying, you know, 2 days ago, hey, Korea is going to ban crypto and, you know, it's going to dip like crazy. Wasn't talked about. So this is why these markets are, they are what they are. I just bought more. I ain't scared. Yeah, Seth, do it, my man. Do it. VeChain's still strong. Yeah, I'm curious if, so I haven't really had a chance to see how some of these assets are holding up just in terms of, how some of these assets are holding up in terms of their Bitcoin pairing, if they're taking a big dive. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, hey, Cardano. 0.5 was the number at Cardano I was looking at. That was scary, and that just broke. Cardano just broke it. If it closes below that, that scares me a little bit. So yeah, there's definitely a lot to lot to take into consideration as you continue to look through some of these assets here. I'm just checking my accounts just to make sure, some of my accounts at least, to see what's going on with all of them at this point. Give me 2 seconds here as I hop in on the other page. So we all eating ramen tonight, boys. Yeah, I shouldn't have had a nice dinner. I should not have had a nice dinner. That was silly move, I guess, on my part. Huh? So let's take a look at the old. Looks like there's maybe a little bit of support here, and we're seeing a nice little bit of a bounce. Ah, there we go. There's a little bit of a bounce coming back up. Let's see if this actually holds or not. Should be fairly interesting to see if this is kind of where we ended up bouncing from, or if everyone hodled, we would all be rich. Yeah, that is certainly potentially true. Tether USD. So Crypto Watchdog said, nice bounce for Bitcoin, 12.6 to 13.3, bought more BTC. Not sure what exchange that might be on, if that's Binance or something else, but yeah, that sounds like there's been, I mean, we could obviously see here there's been a little bit of bounce. There's actually a green candle in the last hour after that just massive red candle in the past hour. But let's see if that holds, or if that you know, kind of that dip might be something that just plummets downwards. So I'm interested in seeing kind of what ends up panning out with this bad boy. Somebody's saying Warren Buffett. What do we got here? Warren Buffett's comments today bringing the market down now. Now, this is definitely not Warren Buffett's comments. This is related to South Korea. And there is my man, the crypto genius, revealing the next Bitcoin. Guys, Bitcoin is plummeting. I highly suggest you click on this link. I know you can't click on it because I'm on my page, but I highly suggest you click on this link and find out what the next Bitcoin is. Because that's going to save you. You're going to make $1 bajillion. It's a fact. It is an absolute fact that if you click on this link and you find out what this crypto genius is saying, because this crypto genius is, it's the next Bitcoin. It's the next Bitcoin. Do you not want to get the next Bitcoin? I want the next Bitcoin. It's BitConnect X. Yep. I'm going to throw up the X. I'm participating in the BitConnect ICO. I think the BitConnect X ICO, I think that's really going to change the game for cryptocurrency in general. That's it. It's going to change the game. There's no such thing as a big triangle or whatever. It's going to change the game. You guys, you can make it. You can do it. The BitConnect X ICO is going to make you rich. And sarcasm, I'm kidding. No. What does bear market mean? I'm invested in BitConnect. It means pull your money out of that crap. Whoops. Dwayne Scott, if I see Bobby overlooking Miami from a hotel room, let's see here. Just to give you guys a little levity here. Can I do it? Hey, yeah, I'm at a hotel room, right? I'm pretty much, hey, guys. I didn't buy these BitConnect. I earned them. And you can see I'm sitting at this poolside cabana, and I earn these BitConnect through hard work, referral fees, and paying for advertising. And that is the American dream, folks. That is the American dream. What's up, folks? That's how you get rich. It's just simple, logical. That's how you do it. It is what it is. When Bitcoin's dropping, you just got to take it on the chin, and you need to buy BitConnect loans. It's fact. And that's how you do things. Such is life in the world of crypto. Hi, my name is Crypto Bobby, and this is my shitcoin wallet. Yes. Hi, my name is Crypto Bobby, and I pretended like my Bitcoin got stolen when it was just sitting on an Electrum wallet, and I wanted to avoid taxes. Whoops. Yeah, let's make trouble on the internet, bros. That's what it's all about. Can I ban super chats too? Nah, I gotta eat ramen, man. I'm broke now. I'm kidding. So, little fake bull run there. So looking at some of these questions, some of these comments here. We got a few more people now that Bitcoin is crashing. So if you are new to the live stream, we're coming up on 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I've been rolling. I've been drinking half a bottle of whiskey. So we're getting live, and we also got Bitcoin dipping quite a bit. But this is all South Korea, or at least in my opinion, a lot of this is South Korea. So somebody said, what percentage of super chats does YouTube take? 50%, I believe. So when you're like, yo, Rob's getting rich. Yeah, until Google takes 50%, and then I'm poor again. But yeah, this is a lot on the back of South Korea is why we're seeing this pretty significant dip. This is crashing. This isn't the end. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, this was a little fake out here. That. Yeah, I mean, I'm. Should I sell everything? Yes. No. Sell everything. Sell everything. No, I'm kidding. If you don't know what's going on, if you don't know what to do, don't do anything. It's kind of my thought process. If you don't know what's happening, if you don't know why it's happening, if you don't know exactly what's going on, if you didn't have a plan prior to, don't freak out, don't panic, don't do anything. Take a deep breath, meditate for 15 minutes, and relax for a little bit of time, because you're going to make a stupid decision if you do something, and you're probably going to regret it. So just take a chill pill for a little bit of time and don't do anything crazy. Just try to come up with an accurate plan of what you want to, what you want to do and how you want to approach it in the long run. Could we dip a lot lower? Absolutely. Could this be the start of a recovery? Yeah, sure. But if you don't have a plan, if you're just panicking and freaking out right now, don't do anything, because you're going to do something stupid, and that you don't make investment decisions when you have no idea what's happening. So just a bit worried about my altcoins. That's probably not the, I don't want to say you should be totally worried about your altcoins, but yeah, we said, holy crap, my portfolio is down 25%. Yeah, that'll happen. This is crypto. When you go up 10, when you go up 1,000%, when you pull a 10x gain, sometimes you're going to have to deal with and I'm looking at my portfolio. It's not good. It's not in the green, I'll tell you that much, folks. So, yeah, it's this is crypto. It is crypto, and if you need a psychologist, if you need somebody to hold your hand, that might be, something you want to, might be something you want to work with. Absolutely, but let's see here. I'm just background making sure that everything I have is alive, well, and okay. Sweet. So I'm good. I'll be all right here. Yeah, crypto gets the blood flowing, that's for sure. If your blood is not flowing right now, I don't know what you're doing or how you're approaching things or kind of what's happening. But if crypto is not getting your blood flowing, yeah, I can't help you at all. I cannot I cannot get it done for you. So we'll take a look over. We'll look at the order book over on GDAX. We got 13.25. It dipped. If this, I mean, who knows if it will or not, but if this dips below 13 hundo, I mean, that's going to be a pretty legit, pretty legit sell-off. That's for certain. So we'll have to see what ends up panning out on GDAX and some of these other exchanges as well. We could obviously pull up Coinigy too, but so we get the $13,200. Go below that. One Lambos, yes, one Lambos. One. Guys, since I am broke now, if you could subscribe to the channel, if you can hit the notify bell, that would be fantastic. Because I no longer have money to survive and or live. Any subscriptions and or notification bells would help me to sustain myself in the long run. Pretty legit bloodbath. Yeah. Oh, this is crypto, baby. This is it. What do we... Come on, let's see 13. We want to see some blood. Let's see some 13. Let's see some buying ops under 13K. Anybody out there buying under 13K? Anybody have them? I blame Logan Paul. If he didn't go into that Japanese forest, we would be okay today. We would be okay if it wasn't for Logan Paul going into a Japanese forest. I'm ready for under 13. Let's see it. Let's see it. Crypto sad hour, baby. I'll change the title. So I renamed the title. I don't know if it's going to save in time or not, but yeah. So it's now Crypto Sad / Crash Hour. Are we going to bounce off 13? That is the question. That is the question, folks. Placing bets now. Are we going to hit under 13? Yes or no? Yes or no? Scrub Mart, what's up, man? Appreciate that super chat. Thank you. I can now pay my electricity bill. Sour hour. Yes, we are all going, according to everybody, we're going under 13. We are riding that wave down. Let's see, baby. Let's see. Time for the dip. There it goes. There goes 13. And there is no liquidity on the order book whatsoever. There's zero liquidity. There goes 12.9. Holy. $12.5. Any takers? 12.5. Are we going under 12.5? We're under 12.9 now, so we got that rolling. That was easy. Let's see that dip. Twitter is blowing up right now. Let's see when 12.8 goes down, which it most likely I feel like probably will go down because nothing has held up recently. There goes. Little pick me up. $12.5 in the place. Somebody said got buy order at $12.55. I think that might be a decent. That might be a decent play. That $12.5 might be the place that we end up seeing a little bit of a bounce. Let's take a look at the old Bitcoin charts here. We'll look at GDAX. It's a rough day in the crypto world, going from close to 15 grand all the way off a cliff. So it's a rough day in the crypto planet. And there's a little bit of a recovery right now, going back up to over 13. So we got that rolling for us. That's a positive. Hodl me tight. Everybody shut your PC and walk away, but then what are you going to watch? How am I going to get super chats? No, I'm kidding. I will subscribe if you sell all your Bitcoin now. Absolutely not. I'm not selling all my Bitcoin. Is this another fake out? We saw a little bit of a fake out before where it looked like Bitcoin was recovering decently, and then we dipped again. If we go back under 13, is that going to be the time we stay under 13 for quite some time? That should be interesting. It's a fake. It's a fraud. Let's see. I'm waiting for that 12.5. I think 12.5 could be an interesting place to. I think 12.5 could be an interesting spot to buy in, but yeah. Oh boy, made a little bit of money here. Green candles are weak volume. Yeah, that's for sure. I don't know. You got brass balls if you're buying now. That's for sure. It's crazy how liquid the order books are. Like there is no money. Like anything is moving these order books right now. Ooh, that would have been bad. GDAX having issues, reality, not a fake out. Yeah, we'll see. We will see if this is legit or not. I will subscribe if you sell all your Bitcoin, and I'll give you $10 with that. No, because the taxes for that would be a lot more than $10. If you want to pay my capital gains taxes, please feel free. But no thank you on that. Steve, what's your LTC address? I don't want to super chat because I want to get all the profit, none to YouTube. Let's see, I don't even know if I have enough. Where's my LTC address? If you really, Steve, I would obviously appreciate that. If you want my LTC address, I'll just the quickest way because I don't have my Ledger plugged in right now. But here, Steve, if you want to toss me some LTC. That is my LTC address. It is in the comments. It's the LDN one. Throw it there. Would certainly appreciate that. Yeah, we got. Looks like maybe that was a little bit of a fake out. So yeah. Did Bobby get $300,000 from BitConnect? Oh, I wish. Under 13K. Back below 13. Let's see if we stick or not. Somebody said, Bobby, do you think it's crashing? Yeah. I mean, it has crashed. Will it continue to? I don't know. But, I mean, this is a pretty aggressive dip in the past hour, 2 hours. But let's say this. Don't say... When crap like this from the government comes out, the second I see it, I'll try to tweet it out. If you're not following me on Twitter, it's Crypto Bobby. But the second I saw this, I knew this was trouble. South Korea ministry preparing to prepare crypto exchange shutdown bill. This was at 8:03. Back at 8:03, this was not shut down. Although this was not terribly bad. Where was 8 o'clock? 22 here. So 8 o'clock, it was at like 14 something, I believe. And it's fallen off a cliff since. So the second I see that type of news, I will definitely tweet about it. I will definitely let you know and keep you in the loop as much as I possibly can. Time warp for me. So, Brad Ojakos, or a couple ones. So, I missed a couple super chats here because I was kind of caught up on some stuff. Darren, thoughts on the NVO ICO? I've been a little caught up on Bitcoin right now, a little bit. Diving deep into Bitcoin. I don't know too much on the NVO ICO. Perhaps I can take a little bit of a look at I know $63 million raised is a lot of money. I don't know too much. That turns me off in 5 seconds. So anything that's promising returns, I literally don't know anything about these guys, but no thanks. If you have a sliding profit calculator on your website, nah, I'm good. So no thank you to NVO ICO. Seth Pierce, have I tried peanut butter with my dog? I am not, no, I don't have a dog, so it's a strange super chat. I appreciate the $5, a little strange. And my man Brad Ojako, what's up, dude? I appreciate the super chat there as well. And we got BTC. This is a fun time trading. If you're, if you're trading at all, this is a damn move for sure. We said if Bitcoin goes bear market, what happens to altcoins? So, I mean, if Bitcoin goes bear market because of South Korea, a lot of the altcoins, I think, will go into a bear market, if not more of a bear market as well. That's kind of just my initial thought. I haven't had a ton of time to digest what's going on at this point in time. But yeah, if Bitcoin goes into a really legitimate bear market, then a lot of the altcoins typically will drop faster than these other ones as well. So certainly something to, something to consider at the given time. And it's most definitely taking a nice little dip right now. Bear market means somebody said, I think the opposite. So depending upon, I mean, there are a couple different times where, don't be a fudder, sliders are always hugely profitable. Yeah. I'm just fudding it. No, I didn't do any research on that ICO. I just was not super appealed by the sliding scale. That just wasn't my cup of tea per se. Somebody said moving my dogs to Bitcoin. That might be a good one. Might be a good one. And then another one, sub $10,000 Bitcoin. I don't know if we'll see that. It might be an aggressive move. If that does, that's a buy opportunity and a half for sure. Sub $10,000 Bitcoin would be a very, very legit buy opportunity. So I'd be I'd be interested to see how that might pan out long term, but I don't know if that'll happen. What's up with Ripple? I think Ripple's having a pretty logical pullback from what a lot of other things have gone on. And yeah, I'm gonna pull up the old. Let's see here. Oof! Wow, it's a rough day in the crypto world, but it is what it is. You know, guys, I think at this point in time, as much as I love sitting on with you guys, I am going to take a minute and try to get a breather and see what is happening in the world and try to make some game plans for myself. So let's, I'd like to do that. We've been going for about 2.5 hours at this point in time. I know we got a lot of people on the line. If you're new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button, the notify bell. But I want to take a little bit of time here to see what the heck is going on, and how I can make some nice plays off of it, because I'm going down. I'm not telling. Somebody said I'm not telling my girl don't do that. It'll go back up. Oh, it'll go back up. Actually, so okay, we got about 2,400 people in the chat right now. We get 10 comments here. I'll stay for another 15 minutes. I'll stay till 11:45. So if I got 15 comments that just say, yo, stay, I'll stay till 11:45, and then we'll head off and we'll see what's up. So we'll do that. Let me know if you want me to stay. If not, I'll get the hell out of here and I'll relax a little bit. You're staying, stay, please, bro. Stay. Okay. All right, cool. We'll stay for another 15 minutes and watch this just absolute bloodbath continue. And watch you continue to bleed money out at your ears as I've looked at Delta, and I've enjoyed and/or seen something that just has not been an appealing time for me personally. So this has been it's been an interesting day to say the least, folks. It's also been advantageous to go live on YouTube, because this is one of the more interesting times where we're talking about real time. Any ghost? Ow, my nuts. Yeah, man. I feel you. It's been hurting. It has been hurting. So I'm curious to see, I mean, the biggest thing I'm looking at now is where do we end up getting some type of support or consolidation? Is it this $13,000 mark? That looks like there is a little bit of support there. I don't know if that's going to come to full-on fruition or not, but is that going to be the place where we end up seeing some level of support, or are we just going to continue playing this yo-yo game with 13K and then dip back below it? Somebody said you should do a crypto sad hour at every crash. Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, this is as much as this sucks. This is what it's all about, man. This is what it is all about. Dips every night, you fools. Now this is like a once in every month or two dip. This is a solid dip. It's gonna be a solid dip. Korea don't play around. So looking at these, thanks for staying on. Am I really 47? No, I'm not 47 years old. That's just my stupid joke. Somebody said, damn, I just went and bought a Lambo. Lambo for sale if anybody's interested. If you bought a Lambo with Bitcoin yesterday, that Lambo's a great investment. Great investment. Yoda Woya, what's up, my man? Appreciate your super chats and your email the other day, as always, brother. Yeah, do not cry. I always have super chats, I guess, but I'm definitely... You don't want to see my Delta app. You do not want to see my Delta app. It is not a fun experience right now. I am in pain. I am hurting, but I'm holding it together for you guys because you need a voice of reason. Thank goodness for stop losses. Yeah, definitely. What price am I buying at? I'm dollar cost averaging it a little bit right now at this point in time, but yeah, let's say 12.5. I'm pretty interested. Sub 12, I'm super interested in buying a lot. Sub $200 LTC. Let's take a look. Steve Lloyd, you missed my super chat. Sorry, Steve. Let me take a look. Took profit yesterday. Call me ETH Jesus. What is up, Steve? That a boy. That a boy. Solid move. Now, sometimes you just know when to take profit, and yesterday looked like a pretty good time to take that profit, my man. So, yeah. I think that definitely appears to be a good place to do it. And now we're back below sub 13. This is this yo-yo game that has been fairly interesting. Time to increase the ZRX and AST positions. Yeah, Ryan, I'm a fan of ZRX. I'm a fan of AST, and I might look to increase some of those positions on this dip. Bitcoin Twitter is hilarious right now. Crypto Messiah. Let's pull it up where it is. What's up? So let's see what's going on with crypto Twitter. Wow, Binance added 240,000 users in an hour. That's incredible. Yes, Bitcoin Twitter is awesome. Jeebus991, one of the kind of crypto trader OGs out there. Anybody want to buy 2 Versace Speedos with a Bitcoin logo on the front and Jeebus in the back? Jeebus, if you need a buyer, maybe I can take some of these super chats and buy myself a Jeebus Versace Speedo. Oh man. This is a day and a half definitely a day and a half for crypto right now. Learn it, embrace it, enjoy it, and realize that hopefully at one point, one time, maybe in an hour, maybe in 12 hours, maybe in 12 days, maybe in 12 months, you're going to be back in the green. So somebody said, what are my thoughts on AppCoin? I'm too caught up in this entire market crash to care about any other recent ICOs at all. And if you just got into crypto in the past day, welcome to the effing show, boys and girls, because it is... it's rocking. Look at the Trav tweet. What do we got here? I'm assuming parabolic Trav. Let's see. Let's see if it's a parabolic Trav tweet. I don't know. Maybe it's a different tweet. Make me rich, you sellers. $11.87 on Binance. Yeah, it's dipping good on Binance. Just add another Bitcoin, have over 12 now. That a boy, Max. That a boy. Buy the dip. I mean, long story short, like I said, I'll go back to it too. LTC is having a little bit of at least in the past couple minutes, little bit of a baby bounce. But just go back and look at what happened with China. If you're really freaking out, if you're really very worried, go back and look at what happened with China in September. It was massively significant at the time. It was a bump in the road previously. So somebody said Jesus Cardano. We'll take a look at Cardano. Yeah, RIP in peace. Wow, that's a rough one. That's dropping off. Like I said before, I tweeted it out today too, and maybe I was, this was pretty much just a guess, but it looked like Cardano had a bit of support at 5,000 Satoshis. So I'll pull up. I could pull it. If you want to go on Twitter, you can see that. But I said when it gets below 5,000 Satoshis, timber. And yeah, Cardano is timbering right now. That is absolutely the absolutely the case. So as we said, I will sleep fine tonight. Work's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. That is absolutely the case. Please tell them about Tether. Short of Monero. Have a nice night. RIP and peace, Ripple. Harish just moved into Tether about 20 minutes ago, thinking of repurchasing in a few hours so I can increase my stack. Thoughts? That could be a potentially a good strategy, depending upon how low it dips. If you increase your stack by any stretch, you pulled off a decent trade, I think. The key is just not to get too greedy. Couple people here not happy about Korean FUD, which I certainly get. Let's see here. Crypto Messiah. I'll pull up that tweet. This bad boy loads. Oh. Yeah, it's a rough one. It's a rough one. This 13K mark has been interesting, though, because it's been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth over it. Yeah, that red candle on ADA is not ideal. I'm curious. Ooh, that is selling off hard. I'm curious what's happening with XRP, too, because the XRP was kind of in a similar path. Selling off not anywhere near as hard as, let's see about Tron. Selling off, but not as hard. Let's pull it up on the 1 hour charts. Yeah, it's dipping. XRP is dipping as well, pretty nicely. Everything is basically dipping. That's the moral of the story now. Cardano would have been a good short play in the past hour. Holy crap, that thing has taken a beating. I'm supposed to get married in June. My money, I'm going to hold. Yeah, as long as your wife doesn't kill you, bro. Oh, that's funny. Well, at this point in time, guys, like I said before, I want to take a little bit of time to just kind of digest this now that, and without the screen, without everything going nuts, take a little bit of time to digest this news and see what is happening. If you are new to the channel by any chance, hit the subscribe button, hit the notify bell. I would certainly appreciate that. If enough people do that, I think if enough people hit the subscribe bell, the notify bell, and the like button, I think you're pretty much guaranteed to get a market bounce. I mean, I'm not a genius, but I think that's the case. It's kind of what happens. But no, I'm kidding. That has no effect on the market whatsoever. But yeah, I've been going for close to 3 hours at this point in time. I've been talking my face off. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this crypto sad hour. The only guaranteed investment out there right now, it's definitely BitConnect. 1% daily interest. That's what you got to do, guys. Click my referral link. It's unicornsandrainbows.com/CryptoBobby/ I'm not telling the truth /BitConnect. And you buy in, do a $10,000 loan because that gets me the most referral credits. And then from there, thank you guys so much for your time. Crypto Bobby signing out. Get ready for that awkward silence time. Let's go. Peace.